What are you guys doing?
Getting our duper tattoos.
Oh, cool.
Hey Cameron, how's it going?
Almost done.
Perfect. Can't wait to see your number.
Number?
Duper, because ratings shouldn't be a surprise. Download the app and claim your free profile today.
I haven't even started yet.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Rick Barry. I used to play professional basketball. Now I'm into pickleball. Performance is really important, but also recovery is actually just as important.
LOMD is a product that I use constantly before my matches and after my matches for my recovery.
Great for inflammation, great for recovery. I keep coming back to this. LOMD all day long, baby.
I use it.
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 Aloe MD, Acute Relief Cream.
Match point, it's all up to me. Nothing can get in my way. And when they ask, what are you gonna do next? I'll say, I'm going. Oh.
We're going to Margaritaville!
You can go to Margaritaville too. Visit MargaritavilleResorts.com.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of the Carvana PPA Tour.
Cruise with Holland America Line and receive up to 30% off, a free balcony upgrade, 50% reduced deposit, free kids fares, and our signature beverage package. Book by January 31st and receive up to $400 onboard spending credit.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
Our new EV rental fleet is the absolute GOAT.
Nice. Speaking of goats, is that Tom Brady?
Yeah. He comes in to recharge, get software updates, you know.
Same time next week?
You got it.
Cool. Let's go.
Let's go.
Of the Santa Rosa Mountains, the beautiful Mission Hills Country Club, home to the Hyundai Masters event on the Carvana PPA Tour. A beautiful setting for the first event in 2023 on the PPA Tour. Thanks so much for joining us here on Championship Court. Joining me now is professional senior pro player. We've got Dave Fleming. We're going to walk you through this epic Championship Sunday because it's going to be phenomenal. More rain yesterday means more Championship Sunday action.
Download the app and claim your free profile today.
I haven't even started yet.
Oh.
So cute. I love it.
You got a dog. Hi.
Oh, what you got there? All right, go get it. Yeah, good boy.
Dibs, I got it first.
When it comes to lasting relationships, we're thinking of every mile. The new Hyundai Tucson. It's your journey.
Oh, will you pause it real quick? Just sold the car to Carvana. Okay, hit play, please.
What? When did you do that?
I just did it the other day. All I had to do was enter the VIN or license plate, answer a couple of questions, and got a real offer in seconds. Then they just picked up the car and paid me right on the spot.
I can finally quit my job and become an actor. No, you're right.
Sell your car at Carvana.com today.
Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
New People Pickleball.
He stands a titan in the arena. A legend of the game that holds one thing above all else: the will to endure. Ferocious in attack and relentless in his pursuit to be the best, to be number one. Tyson McGuffin and Selkirk Sport, champions of pickleball.
Podiums are reserved for winners. No one ever said getting there would be easy. So we work, we drill, we train. And while we do whatever it takes to gain even the slightest edge, we found our biggest. Electrum has the most grit for spin and touch without sacrificing any power. Electrum, earn your edge.
Point. One, 0-2. Point. Two, 2-1. Referee error, replay. Two, 2-1.
So if you're just joining us here from Mission Hills Country Club, Cameron Irwin alongside Dave Fleming, this is men's quarterfinal action. It's the #1 seed,
3-2-1.
Ben Johns and his brother, Colin Johns, versus Steve Deacon, the Canadian, and Pat Smith. You called him the Winter Soldier. I gotta know the origin of that nickname, Dave. And the quick arm of Pat Smith closing out.
Yeah, and a nice patient point there. The Johns boys have all of the fire, but they also like to grind it out. So if you can win points like that, that's big for Deacon and Smith.
Point.
Finding the right hip right now of Steve Deacon.
4-2-2. Point.
Plenty of depth on that serve from Ben Johns. Notorious aim he has.
Yeah, and he was firing away in singles, and he is not letting up on the serve. You see a lot of people hit a much safer serve in doubles. He's not doing that.
A fantastic leave by Steve Deacon. Colin Johns rarely misses that.
Yeah, you can't believe it. When Colin's mouth is wide open like that, it's just shock rolling into his body.
That ball hits the baseline.
Second serve.
Finding the middle is Ben Johns.
And you have to play so clean to keep it close against them. Every third's got to bounce.
That third taking a nice bounce. Their direction. Off the top of the net.
Side out.
That ball just looked like it skid away from him.
Sure did, and Deacon has one of the best backhand dinks, so you're not going to see that missed very often.
Primarily working with that slice.
Absolutely.
Second serve.
Ben Johns getting his arm a little bit looser here.
Yeah, shake it out over there. You know, we can play some Taylor Swift in the background if he needs that inspiration.
Taylor Swift on Championship Sunday for the men's quarterfinal. They'd love it.
Point.
That's the second dink we've now seen from Steve
Receiver
Deacon.
6-2-2.
So at 6-2, Smith and Deacon decide to take a timeout. But I feel like we have to give a little bit of an update to all of our viewers that have been tuning in. Yesterday, a massive rain delay has put us in a little bit of a situation. But if you're the optimist, it means more pickleball on Sunday.
Absolutely. If you tuned in yesterday, you got to hear me talk about the weather a lot in the afternoon. And, you know, we don't like to do that. So we're going to get everything in. It looks clear this morning. Just too much dew in the area, and then as we went out on center court, there's sand and debris from the wind and everything, so that's slick as well on court. So you're going to get quarter and semifinals from the men and the women's doubles, and then we'll see who is holding up trophies later today.
Holding up, of course, that Hyundai Masters trophy. Prestigious in the world of pickleball, especially it being the first event of the year.
Side out.
Two-handed backhand. Flick finds the top of the net for Colin Johns.
Yeah, that's one he'd usually hit with one hand to get the extra reach, and I think it cost him there.
Second serve.
And a missed third.
Yeah, Deacon's fundamentals have got to be there to pull the upset there, so he's usually money on his thirds.
Oh, beautifully done. Colin Johns dropping his hips, finding the scorpion.
You know, he has studied all of his opponents better than anybody. He knows what's coming.
Smith and Deacon have switched sides.
Yeah, and that's a smart approach. If you see someone struggling or you don't like it, don't lose the same way the whole match, Cameron. Find a different way. No one's locking you down to one side or the other.
You know, it's interesting, there's been so much conversation in the men's game that maybe there won't be as many switches. Maybe it's going to become that much more patternized and with play calls pretty much set up. But you're kind of a proponent of still switching at times.
Well, if you're down, don't just lose the same way and then wonder what happened when you walked off the court.
That's a great point. And that time it goes the direction of Steve Deacon. You got to feel good about yourself if you're winning dink rally against Ben Johns, #1 player.
Absolutely, and you know that's what he's going to just sit there and hit that. Everything about Steve Deacon's very calm and in control. He's just got to make them all.
Second serve.
And that's what's so good about Colin Johns there. We saw him get low and get down on the forehand side. On this one, he slides over to the sideline and finishes with the backhand.
Point.
And that ball's gone into the stands. A nice little drive there.
Shankopotamus from Ben Johns there. Okay.
Dave Fleming with the Shankopotamus call. There you go. Why not? So baseline defense now for Pat Smith. And just too much on that.
Yeah, and sometimes when you put extra spin on it, it actually will roll and stay down, and that's what happened there. And Pat Smith didn't get the ball to come up and couldn't continue to try. You know, it's hard to put an overhead away in pickleball, unlike tennis.
Point.
That ball well long of the court.
Yeah, that's a ball that you just can't miss that ball. On offense, maybe when you're serving, you don't have a scoreboard problem, just an opportunity loss. You got to make that one.
I like that, a scoreboard problem. That's a new way of saying it. When you're in a deficit.
And you have an ATP problem there from Ben Johns, and they are rolling.
Cuffing that, but sliding actually the opposite direction for Steve Deacon to the left.
Yeah, I like that he read that off Ben Johns' paddle, and that's tough to do because he can take that to so many places.
There's the crossbody to Pat Smith, and that's exactly the kind of trouble it can get you in.
Yeah, he is so deceptive.
Let reserve.
Let serve.
10-3-2.
Colin smirking. It's his game point. Oh, and he read it beautifully, just the execution wasn't there. So 3-11 is game number 1, the number 1 seed, taking the first game in the quarterfinals on the men's doubles side.
And looking very good doing it. And, you know, we saw some errors when they read the ball. It's the pressure they put on you because you have to be so precise when you're playing against the Johns boys.
This is Pro Pickleball.
We're the best of the best. This is the PPA Tour.
The first championship Sunday in 2023 on the Carvana PPA Tour is right here at the foothills of the Santa Rosa Mountains at Mission Hills Country Club. Cameron Irwin alongside professional pickleball player, senior pro, none other than Dave Fleming. We're joining in right in the middle of this match. The number 1 team in the world, Ben Johns and Colin Johns, in quarterfinal action versus Pat Smith and Steve Deacon. Game 1 went to the Johns brothers. And it starts with a fantastic rally, a switch in the middle of the play.
We had a unicorn sighting in the middle of that because Ben Johns is never on the right side, but because of that net cord track down, Colin Johns is able to get it, and then they switch midpoint at the kitchen line. You won't see that the rest of the day. Welcome, Tennis Channel viewers.
Colin just not able to get back in. He kind of was sitting and hesitating before coming back to the court.
Yeah, and he's smiling because he took a backhand overhead when little brother's forehand smash was sitting there ready to kill it.
If you're just joining us, we've had 4 days of coverage for this Hyundai Masters event. Again, the first in 2023. And we've had a little bit of a rain delay as of Saturday. So Sunday, you're going to see more pickleball than ever on a championship Sunday. This, of course, being the quarterfinals.
Side out.
Yeah, it's a smorgasbord here, and the top 8 teams got into the quarterfinals, so we didn't have any upsets despite the intensity of the draw. So many 3-game matches, but it's the cream did end up rising.
2-0-1.
There's a look at the #1 player in the world. That's Ben Johns, 23 years old. Colin is his older brother and former professional tennis player. Known to have 2 forehands in tennis, and I'm just wondering,
2-0-2.
forehands in pickleball.
Doesn't want to switch that paddle back and forth.
I don't blame him. Take a little too much time.
Point.
There's a look at Steve Deacon, just a miss there on the backhand dink.
And that's, again, these two, as the top seed, are not needing to be flashy unless it's required. They'll happily grind it out with you because they will not pull the trigger on the wrong ball.
Continuing to just work into that cross court till to speed up the counter just wide.
Yeah, and Colin will look for an opportunity. You think of him as, oh, the best right side player, meaning more defensive, but he's got plenty of offense in there to complement Ben.
There's the famous flick of Ben Johns to set up a beautiful combo to finish with his 2-handed backhand.
Yeah, and it's like there was a ghost hiding in the closet here. Steve Deacon's like, whoa, there's something on my right side there, and it's too late on the next ball. So that's why he's the best player in the world right there.
A lofted third, a solid 5th.
Oh my, a Burt ATP and then a ridiculous angle.
I was wondering, I'm going, is Colin going to steal it from him again? Nope, Ben Johns with the Burt. Take a look. It was even defended. I'm not even sure what that paddle angle was from Steve Deacon, but that's one heck of an angle right there from Colin Johns.
Unbelievable. Big brother's got to push little brother out of the way. That's my ATP, man. What are you doing?
So 6-0 at this point, but a side out for Smith and Deacon. That's quite a bit of a reach right there for Smith trying to cover.
Just to clarify what we mean by Burt, Ernie is when you jump the kitchen line on your side. Because we all love Sesame Street, a Burt is going in front of your partner. Rarely do you see an ATP like that.
Talk about sliding that off your paddle. I believe that's the Perseus, a new paddle from Yola that Ben Johns is in the midst of engineering himself.
Yes, and Perseus is a Greek god who slayed Medusa, so he's slaying everybody here.
That was a good read by Pat on the first, but again, too much pace. At this level, you're not going to see the speed ups necessarily being the winners. It's always the second or third.
Got to have that paddle up, Cameron.
He may have come off the foot of Colin Johns there.
That's what you got to. Team in the world, we saw the high defense. Ball.
defense.
Engaged in the fight in 2023. He wrecked everybody in singles and mixed doubles, and it's happening again here in men's doubles. Look out.
Around 35 medals last year. I believe that was gold medals last year alone on the PPA Tour.
Yeah, Smith and Deacon have to go. All right, let's keep the ball for a minute here. Let's get a couple, see if we can put a little scoreboard on them.
Point.
Oh, there you go. Dave said it perfectly. So the 1-9, Pat Smith was a Division I college tennis player at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, originally out of Munich, Germany.
And the crowd wants more pickleball, so they're going to cheer a missed return from CJ there.
Well, we've got a whole day of it.
Exactly. Just hang out, folks. We're good.
Second serve.
That is a gorgeous shot from Ben Johns right there, cuffing that ball on the backhand side.
Yeah, the people that hit a two-handed backhand hit that off the top of the paddle. He hits it at the bottom of the paddle. It's so hard to read.
And then it slides, too. It's got a different spin to it. The full washing machine for Pat Smith there as they find one defense. But again, the pressure just continues to mount for the Johns brothers.
And then right into the topiary.
Colin Johns laying off that, getting them back to neutral.
Out?
With a two-handed backhand. Come on, Ben Johns. One of the inventors of the game as he finds match point right there. So the Johns brothers take the quarterfinals, 11-3 and 11-2. Quick work for the #1 seed, but he closed it out with a two-handed backhand. That thing is a beauty coming into 2023.
Yeah, so great. He's got the one-handed roll, the one-handed dink that I don't know where it's going, and now he's ripping twoies at me. Oh, dear. Look out, everybody.
Yeah, Ben Johns is putting everybody on notice. He's got a few new shots to go, but perfectly timed thanks to our Tennis Channel folks. As the men's draw now comes up, you can see who's moved on to the semifinals. Johns, of course, as well as De Villiers and Young. You got a chance to call the quarterfinal this morning against Dawson and Loon. What did you see in that matchup?
I saw DJ Young, who is a player who can have very high peaks and very high and very low valleys, play fantastic. So those two are two big, scary players with a lot in the tank. They're going to be a problem for whoever wins that other match.
Well, they are a new partnership in 2023, so hopefully we'll get a chance to see more of them through this season. We'll be back with more from Championship Court.
The most electrifying man in sports. The epitome of hard work and the face of the game. Tyson McGuffin became an icon the same way Selkirk Sport did, with a team. Dedicated professionals with a passion for innovation and unrivaled commitment to the game of pickleball. Selkirk Sport. We are pickleball.
I guess I'm sort of unique in how I was introduced to the sport because I was sort of watching from the sidelines for years as my brother was ascending to the top of the sport.
Pickleball was kind of funny in that it crept up on me in terms of what it was to me. So I started playing in early 2016, and in that time there were a couple professional tournaments. I didn't have any plans with it. I just thought it was fun. I played the US Open for the heck of it.
Ben and I are both competitive. We like to win all the time. And of course, in a gold medal match, there's more on the line, so you want to win those.
Ben Johns having a moment. It was all Johns brothers in control from the start. They had their foot on the gas pedal and did not let up.
If you're the target, that means you're in a good position, whether it's where other people want to be. So I definitely don't underestimate or undervalue that. Really, it's about trying to stay on top. You know, I mean, people say you don't have upwards to go, and that's never exactly true. It's a constant fight still, and that's really what it's more about, is the grinding, the fight.
My number one reason and why I continue to play pickleball is the fact that I get to spend time on court with my little brother. It's just really cool that we found a sport that we can compete in and play together, let alone actually be at the top of the sport. So pickleball really did, in many ways, come out of nowhere. It's very sociable, so when you go to play, you might have a billionaire, a janitor, and just your average housewife on the same court and wanting to win, wanting to play well, and enjoying themselves. Out of nowhere might be the title right now, but years from now, it's going to be something very different.
You know, they talked about it years from now, it's going to be something different, and it's already different from 2022. The game is ever evolving, the technology is ever evolving. The paddles being one of those things to help with the evolution.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, the challenge for these other players are, not only are they working on a paddle, Ben's a mechanical engineer. No one practices smarter or harder or studies the game more. You saw those two. I can't wait to see when they raise their level, everyone else has to too, to be able to compete with them. Great feature behind the scenes of those brothers.
Yeah, and it's got to be tough too when you're the number one team. You're still, you know, there is a team that definitely is barking up the same tree. Matt Wright, as well as Riley Newman, has taken them down several times in 2022. So that rivalry, you have to imagine, has ignited that much more emphasis for the Johns brothers in terms of innovating and pushing their game forward. It's almost a blessing.
Yeah, they don't like when you and I are saying it's been 2-2 in the last 4. The Johns don't like to hear.
They don't like
50% of anything.
But it is a good thing for those two who continue to raise their level each and every tournament on the Carvana PPA Tour. We'll have so much more to come from Championship Court.
The future of pickleball is here. Welcome to Top Court. For my top tip, when it comes to hitting serves, you want your serves to land back here in this area.
You want to keep that paddle towards your body, and it's more of a push with my shoulder.
Thank you to Pickle Roll. It can be installed anywhere, temporarily or permanently, on any flat area. So I have a feeling Pickle Roll is going to be a big part of our future.
Match point. It's all up to me. Nothing can get in my way. And when they ask, what are you gonna do next? I'll say, I'm going. Oh.
We're going to Margaritaville!
You can go to Margaritaville too. Visit margaritavilleresorts.com.
most electrifying man in sports. The epitome of hard work and the face of the game. Tyson McGuffin became an icon the same way Selkirk Sport did, with a team. Dedicated professionals with a passion for innovation and unrivaled commitment to the game of pickleball. Selkirk Sport. We are pickleball.
Welcome to the grandstand. We're bringing you bonus coverage here on Tennis Channel. This is some women's doubles action. Just one match had been played for Etta Wright and Lacey Schneemann before this morning, so they're thrilled to get out onto the court after the rain delay yesterday. Cameron Irwin alongside Dave Fleming. And the other duo that's actually out there is Jessie Irvin and Irina Tereshchenko. So this is the 3 versus 6 seed. And happy to see things starting on the grandstand now that things have dried up a bit.
Yes, and Irvin and Tereshchenko are dialing back to 2021. They played a lot of tournaments together, so they are not a new partnership. Schneemann, who's in the white hat here, and Etta Wright is in the visor. Schneemann, okay, huge forehand, but guess what? She has a master's in aerospace engineering. This lady knows how to study aerodynamics, folks.
Oh, that she does. She actually worked for Boeing, and she still may, but I keep asking, like, when are you going to go full-time pickle? And she's like, well, you know, until I kind of like forced into that. Right now, she's been going higher and higher through the ranks, as has Etta Wright, somebody that there's been so much conversation about.
Yeah, her game is so smooth, just like butter. I mean, everything she does, she has a one-handed flick that is so lethal, and she's only going to get better and better. She is, both these ladies are on the rise.
See Etta playing on the left. Quick flick. I believe that ball is long, though.
Absolutely the right shot, just wrong execution. The seas had parted there, but pushed it a little deep, and we have a referee conversation here. Yeah, so a lot of change up on the ladies' side with some of the partnerships. So Jessie Irvin played with a bunch of people. Anna Bright, the injury to Anna Lee Waters' mom. Lee Waters sort of
Right, known to also, you mentioned the backhand flick. That's almost a little bit of a rarity right now in the women's game. She's got a dangerous one that has made some people nervous. Yes. If you're on the other side. Speaking of the one-hand flick, there's the roll from Jessie Irvin. Lacey has a deadly, deadly wrist. Very deceptive when you're on this other side of the net from her.
She sure does. And, you know, I think why you're seeing Irvin on the left is they don't want to get caught in a switch when they're returning. So we're going to play it straight up, and then you'll see, and that is exactly where Jessie's walking now. Okay, no risk, no pressure on that return. We're comfortable playing both ways, but we'll get to our preferred positioning here.
Miscommunication there. And I think that was a little bit of an off-speed speed up. I think Lacey might have been early on that one.
Yeah, and I like that Schneemann bailed out on the ball where there was miscommunication. That's what Etta Wright's got to learn. If you're going to be the left side player, be an animal and go take that ball.
I like that. Be an animal. That's what I'm going to tell myself next time on the court.
Do it, Cameron.
You can just see how knifed that ball is, though, from Irina Tereshchenko. She's got a beautiful slice, even though she misses that just into the net. So it was 1-4, now 3-4 for Irvin and Tereshchenko, trailing by 1. And sliding to her left, opening up the forehand, is Lacey Schneemann.
Yeah, that is heavy. You talked about that wrist. It's a very whippy forehand that has big heat on it. It's hard to get on top of an Irvin attack. That's impressive.
she actually prefers the left, but while you're playing with Etta, who's the dangerous one-handed backhand flick, sometimes you got to let her sit there. Don't have to unwind the stack right now, though. They play straight up. And a good leave. Little matrix action from Lacey Schneemann.
Yeah, so what you're seeing from both teams here is when we're on an odd number, we're not going to get in trouble and let the team fire away at an open court. It's smart if the players are comfortable on both sides. That's not always the case.
Yeah, Lacey can be pretty deadly on that left side, too. She likes that inside out. Forehand deep. There's the drive from Lacey Schneemann.
So the reverse of that, though, is that if Irvin and Tereshchenko prefer Tereshchenko on the left, you might need to start thinking about, well, you need to unwind because we're down.
We want you to catch all the action here on the Carvana PPA Tour. So we have moved out to the grandstand where you just watched the conclusion of game 1 here versus the 6 and 3 seeds in women's professional doubles action. Etta Wright and her partner Lacey Schneemann picking up game 1 over Irina Tereshchenko and Jessie Irvin. Cameron Irwin alongside Dave Fleming, ready to bring you in for game number 2.
Perfect pattern, poor execution. Wright went with that middle dink and got a pop-up. That is not going to be missed very often. That's usually no-go zone on Etta Wright.
Oh, the right read. And again, to your point, just a little off on the execution. Wow, Etta Wright, though, showing her chops on the right and left side of her body.
Yeah, again, got to have the paddle up. These players are so good. There might take 3 or 4 swings at it. Wasn't ready for the 3rd one there.
And interesting, I like that. There were a couple balls sent middle, and instead Jessie Irvin decided to step in and take that with her backhand.
Yeah, I like it, and then inside out. The reason is it's the depth of the dink. If you keep it shallow or closer to the net, she can't reach in there and do damage. That's how precise you have to be to win at this level.
Irina Tereshchenko's got some wheels. Pressure continues. And finding the sideline is Etta Wright. What a play.
You love when the team that loses the point does a clap on the paddle, as Jessie Irvin did there. You know, everybody loves a good point. Even if you lose it, it's fun to be seeing your partner running a 4.540 across the back of the baseline there.
Oh, I mean, I guess NFL is on today. Why not?
It is.
proficiency of those dinks from Etta Wright. I mean, this is why people are talking about her. That's not easily done. This is a woman that's 30 years old and has pretty much played just about every paddle